Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to another Skyborn behind the scenes. Today we're going to be looking at the second book that we're working at the moment. It's called The Adventures of Hakim 2, Streetwise Champion. You might be wondering, well, why is it called 2? This is the first book in this particular series of Hakim, so why is it 2, you wonder? Well, let me tell you, it's because this is actually an ongoing series that we started back in 1996, yeah, something like that, right? 96, but it was actually published in 99. So it was an idea to create a little character that would be streetwise and adventurous, and I wanted to name it after my son, Hakim. So that started off in 1999 with a double cassette CD printed and produced and distributed by Yusuf Islam's Mountain of Light. So that was the first edition, and it came out, it did very well. I know it's been all over the world. People from Canada, South Africa have mentioned it. He even had a school in Belgium, a school. They created a play out of it as well. So I know it was quite popular. So we did that, and we released after that. So about 10 years after that, we released The Adventures of Hakim 2, which was the follow-up of the double cassette. And this is now the third iteration, but this is just an adaptation of the CD. I wish I had the CD to show you, but I don't. I'll probably put it here somewhere on the screen to show you what am I saying? yeah, this is the actual book version of it. It's going to be A4, full color illustration, done by the amazing Rizali Musa, who's a young man from Malaysia who's done this artwork, and he's also done the artwork for the Muslim All-Stars. I hope you haven't got that so far. Make sure you run over to Amazon and grab a copy there. This is going to be the same format. Now here, again, I'm going to show you the behind the scenes, everything that I've been working on so far. It's not finished. The story is finished, but the actual book itself is not finished. We are literally, I'd say, less than halfway through it at the moment. Again, you'll see a lot of information in the background here. All these iterations of covers and artwork and whatnot. This was an idea that I had. This is the first idea I had, that they were running towards the camera. Let's get this out of the way. And they're busting through a page here, and you can see aspects of the page. Actually, if you look at this carefully, you can see those are images from the Muslim All-Stars, because I did this before I had everything else, so I put that together. The idea that they're busting out of a page and coming towards us. That was only one idea I had for a cover, but at the moment I think I wanted it to look more like a film poster with action and explosions, because there's a lot of action in The Adventures of Hakim 2. If you don't have the CD yourself, it's not actually available at the moment. I'm still trying to sort that one out. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of fighting adventures. It's really action-packed. It's much more action-packed than the Muslim All-Stars. Muslim All-Stars was meant to be a tamer version of The Adventures of Hakim. So you can see here, I wanted to make it look much more like a film with a large character and then all the other smaller characters dotted around. All the images, all the characters have been drawn except for Buckmaster. Buckmaster here is still not quite ready. That's my old sketch of Hakim, and this is one of my other old sketches of Hakim that appeared on the actual CD. This is going to go a bit slow in terms of the me looking at things, because there's so much going on in these pages. These are some of the original images that I used for the Adventures of Hakim CD. So these are my renditions of the character, and this is, of course, Rizali's version as well, that I told him, you know, I direct him what to do here and there. So only Buckmaster needs to be changed. The other characters, they're all there. So who are the characters? We have Abdul Hakim, we have his best friend Abdullah, we have Shakira, Kung Fu Kid from California, we have Axel Blue, who's a crazy rapper who hates Islam, by the way, but there's a reason for it. Then you have one of the main villains, and the main villain from the first cassette and CD was Sharky, the scourge of the neighborhood. And then of course you have Buckmaster. His full name is what's his name? Ivan Gorgoch Buckmaster. Okay, as I said, he needs to be drawn still. And then you have another big picture of Abdul Hakim here. You have Tower Bridge, because it does take place in London, and you can see some other London icons here and there. And of course, you can't have an action film or the semblance of an action film without the massive explosion in the back and some fire in the background. London's burning, right? So you can see, again, I've got all of these ideas and sketches. This is for the Streetwise Champion Award that Hakim wins in the story. You can see he's got it on here. Let's have a quick look inside of the book itself. Again, everything I'm showing you can and probably will change in terms of design, layout, and everything like that as well. Now, with this one, I wanted to jump straight into the adventure, and I want it to be like a TV series where they say previously on right here. You'll see it says exactly that. Once I get to it here, previously on the Adventures of Hakim. Then here I'm going to describe what happened in this. Here's the original Adventures of Hakim double cassette, and you know that must be proper old. I'm saying double cassette. Again, designed by me and released by Mantle of Light, Yusuf Islam's Mantle of Light. Okay, that is a quick synopsis of what happened in the last 3 cassettes. We wanted to squeeze 4 in there, but we couldn't get 4. It was just too long to squeeze 4 stories in there, so we did 3 stories and a bonus song. Right, so let's just zoom out again. So that's the inside back cover, inside front cover, page 3. Then, as I said, I wanted to do is just jump straight in there, straight into the adventure. So we start with our epilogue, a royal encounter, and it starts with Hakim and some young lady tied upside down underneath a ticking bomb. Something's going down. Something's going down. Rizali's done a fantastic job with the illustrations. You'll see that for yourself as we go through the entire book. Right, so it starts off straight away with him in danger and something happening. Then we go back to some semblance of normality where we just have the intro page, the contents page with all the stories, headings, and this is probably going to change. I've just thrown that there for now because it just looks whimsical and I just left it there. Then we move on to the inside pages where we have Meet the Skyborn team, myself, Zarka, and of course Sobir as well. Then a bit of a legal blurb, introduction, bit of an introduction as to what is the Adventures of Hakim. What's it all about? Because it's going to be new to a lot of people seeing it, especially in this format. So we just kind of talked about the idea behind it, how it started, and where we took it and where we're trying to go with it. Then I felt we need to have a quick profile page similar to the Muslim All Stars where we talk about each character. Again, I'm still tinkering with this design. See, it's very much all over the place. It could change. It will probably change. I don't know. Each one will have their own specific color. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to look in the end. So because I'm working on the other one as well, it's taken a wee while to get my head around it. So I'm looking backwards and forwards and trying to figure that out. This next 4 pages are design ideas I'm playing with to start the actual story in the adventure. And this one is just showing you here Hakim, Shakira, and of course Abdullah. So I've put them on top there as well. I'm not quite sure if I want it to be that way. Or you can tell me which one do you prefer, this one or this one. It's exactly the same thing, except I've just laid it out differently. You've got London on the side there. I'm kind of feeling that this one is better. It's just more dynamic. You can see the character. I like to have these characters big and bold in the pages. Remember, this is going to be A4. It's going to be, kids are going to love it. It's going to be very kinetic energy. So I like the idea of these big, bold images. So as I said, I'm kind of thinking that this is going to be the one I'm going to use. Then we get into the second story. Now the stories, each chapter are quite short, almost fit into one page, because on the audio, this taken directly from the audio, put into a narrative format. Each chapter is about 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes long. So they're quite short chapters. I wanted did that on purpose to keep the attention going, so that one doesn't wander off because each chapter is too long. It's very short, bang, 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 self-contained, and it moves on. That's why you see almost each story fits into one page. Almost. You'll see that it's not always the case. We move into the first aspects of the story where something's happening here. There's a fight going on in the playground. This young lady here is obviously Shakira, dressed up like that. And if you can see here in the background is Abdul Hakim and his little brother here as well, Amar. Okay, something's going on. These bullies are obviously trying to attack her. And if you look underneath this dumpster, you'll see Abdullah. Abdullah's hiding. Right, then the next few pages, not every chapter is going to have an illustration. So here you can see I might put a few little I don't know, items that reflect the story, but I'm not actually gonna put illustrations for every chapter. Here we move into chapter 5 and we've got another illustration. They're in a play, they're in the school hall. Axel Blue's on stage, he's making strange faces. Hakim and Abdullah, they're having a confrontation with this girl in pink. I don't know what's going on. Obviously having an assembly. It must be a big deal because there's TV cameras there and things of that nature. So that's another aspect there. Then we've moved into that same story, same chapter, excuse me, but here we have the White Skulls, which are longtime rivals of Abdul Hakim and his mates, and of course led by Sharky, who's just broken out of prison and wants revenge on Hakim because Hakim was the one who put him into prison in the first place. So they've stormed this school and they're chucking stink bombs and sacks of flour everywhere. You can see the flour here flying around. Again, I had to give the ideas to Rizali. This is what I want to see. I want to see them both clashing, and then he just drew that together. And then what I do, I drop it in here and I change some of the illustration around to how I want it to appear. Right, we're going to quickly jump ahead now because the other chapters don't have illustrations. This one you probably can see straight away, this doesn't look quite right. It looks very colorful, but you can see the quality is not as good as some of these ones here. Why is that? Because this is what, when we do the artwork and we discuss it, Rizali sends over images. I take a screenshot of it to look at it closer, and I normally drop it into the page to see how it fits and how it balances. So this is what I've done here. I've just taken a screenshot of what he sent to me. He sent it to me via Instagram, and I just dropped it in here, and you can see it's very poor quality. Once I okay it, he'll just go on and touch up a few things, and then he'll send me the actual one, and then from that actual one we can then move forward. Right, I'm going to skip right ahead nearly to the end now, because all the other pages here, it's just bare story. I've just used these as placeholders for now, just playing around with different ideas. This is going to be a big fight between Abdul Hakim rushing towards Buckmaster as Shakira does a flying kick. That's going to be a massive double page spread where Buckmaster has destroyed Hakim's house. There were small explosions going off because there's a gas main leak, and it's Shakira's fighting with him. It's all going down. Hakim's on his skateboard. This is going to be a massive action spread. I don't know what it's going to be, but we've got a while before we get to that. And then at the very end, and then there's a big blank page here. Why is that? That's because somebody's going to die, and this is going to be, I'm going to have it here. The story continues, and then you're going to see the death scene here. Then to reinforce that, it's going to go to a double page blank screen, two blank pages. Oh, to hit that point home, that because of the what happened with the concert that Axel Blue had performed, some kids took drugs. Let me just go back to that culprit Axel Blue. Where is he? Here he is, down here. Him, because of what happened in that event. Here it is, the concert that they had in the drama hall. That's why somebody takes some drugs and it dies. Okay, that's why you have that massive double page spread. Oh, it's so sad. Then at the end here, we've gone down to the end, and that's the last story. Then we have the inside pages and the back cover here. Again, guys, it could change, okay, but I'm liking this one. It looks very good. You get the book, you flip it over, you see straight away, bit of action, danger. They're hanging over this bomb here. It's got 30 seconds on the clock. Oh, it's going down, okay? Sometimes, and it says here, sometimes being a 13-year-old Muslim can be tough. I've taken all of the blurb from the CD and I've placed it on the back here with some tweaks, because obviously this is not an audio version anymore. It's actually a book. Here, I've dropped in the two previous iterations of the Adventures of Hakim, which is a cassette, double cassette, and the CD. I've dropped them in here. Okay, I should also forgot to mention as well that the CD wasn't written entirely by myself. It was also written by Ishidi Mason, Daniela Mason. She actually helped me with so much. I'd say easily 50% of the story is hers as well. So of course she will be getting writer's credits on this as well, and props. Right, so yeah, so the images will be falling inside of this spaces here. Again, because it's not finished, there's nothing to put there at the moment. So that is basically what it's all about, my friends. I just want to give you an insight again into the Adventures of Hakim. So guys, make sure you share, like and comment on our videos. Inshallah, we're gonna have a few more coming up for our behind the scenes.